Shall we begin? Let's begin now. Let's begin now.
Welcome to the Simply Christian Podcast, as we, starting a new series today, Seeking the Truth. So look forward to the next couple episodes here as we prepare for the upcoming revival. But welcome to the Simply Christian Podcast. My name is Kenneth Mickey, and this is August Reyman. August, what do we got going on today?
Well, today we're going to be looking at a couple verses in Matthew chapter 7, specifically verses 7 and 8. And a few questions we're going to be looking at is, what are you seeking? How hard are you seeking? And how successful have you been in your search? So that's what we're going to get into today. But first, a word from our sponsors.
Ooh.
Are you searching for truth in a world full of noise? The Church at Reno invites you to a powerful week of revival, February 22nd through the 27th, featuring Elijah Bueller, a faithful Christian from Rushville, Indiana, and a professor at the Sunshine School of Evangelism. Brother Bueller teaches the book of Matthew and brings a clear, Bible-based message rooted in Jesus Christ. Each night, you'll be challenged and encouraged as we explore the importance, relevance, and unshakable foundation of truth found only in Christ. The theme is Seeking the Truth. If you're hungry for answers, renewal, or a deeper understanding of God's Word, this revival is for you. Services run February 22nd through the 27th at the Church at Reno at 1205 North McCarran Boulevard in Reno. Come seeking and leave strengthened in truth.
As we mentioned, we're preparing for our upcoming revival, so we're pretty excited. Here, February the 22nd through the 27th, Brother Elijah Bueller is going to be joining us here live in Reno, and he's from Rushville, Indiana, so that was a nice little promo they got put together for us. But Elijah and I were talking the other day, and he kind of threw out some ideas of what he's going to be speaking on and helping the congregation here be encouraged by. So the theme is Seeking the Truth. And so a couple different things he's going to bring up there is Acts chapter 18. And so in Acts chapter 18, he's also almost going to have like a two-part sermon on that, where he's going to be looking at seeking the truth and also communicating the truth. And so that's going to be looking there. Maybe we'll throw this out to the viewers. Who's Acts 18 talking about? What's going on in Acts 18? Comment below, see if you can figure that out. Who was seeking the truth, and then later, who started to communicate the truth? Good little lesson right there. A couple other things that he may bring up is being an example and setting forth a great example of seeking the truth there in 1 Thessalonians chapter 1, and many other great ideas that we'll be looking at about walking by faith, not by fear, and perspective is everything. Perspective is everything.
Pretty important.
Yeah, think about Matthew 24 there. Perspective is everything. So there's a lot of great things that are coming up. We're pretty excited. Seeking the Truth. That's February 22nd through the 27th. We invite you to either join us live in person. That's the best way to be able to get excited for a revival and actually be able to grow during a revival. But if you're not able to join us in person, join us online or check us out at thechurchatreno.com. And you can check it out under the news section and click on the 2026 Spring Revival button. And so you'll be able to see that under the news section on our website.
That's right. Looking forward to that. It's going to be a great time. Looking forward to a great revival. And let's get into today's episode asking the question, what are you seeking?
What are you seeking?
Okay, so we're looking at a couple verses today in Matthew chapter 7. We're going to read verses 7 and 8. It says, "Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and it will be open to you. For everyone who receives, and he who seeks, finds. And to him who knocks, it will be opened."
It's interesting. Here, Jesus is making it real clear. Apply effort, and a result will occur.
Yeah.
Apply effort, and this will happen. Do this, and this will happen. Action, consequence, and this time it's all good consequences, all good results, but it's very definite and direct. And I think it's good that there are some absolutes, something that we can rely on and say, hey, if we try this, if we know that we're going to do this, well, God's going to hold true at the other end of this. And we can see how that relationship is between a father and a son, and then again between us and God there in the next couple verses. And so God's going to hold true on his part. The question is, are we going to put forth the effort? Are we going to put what is required to get the desired result? A lot of times we look at things and say, yeah, we want this result, but are we willing to put forth the effort? Are we willing to
Right.
put forth the asking, the seeking, and the knocking? What do you think? Do people put forth the effort?
Well, sometimes I can think of two examples that really work for this. The first is when, say, a hunter is successful
Mm-hmm.
and he knows that he just killed a deer or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Now, where we hunt at in Nevada, it's a lot of sagebrush, a lot of trees. And if we know that we were successful, now we have to go and seek out the deer that we just shot. We have to look for it, and the sagebrush is, it can get chest high sometimes. So if we seek for that deer that we're looking for, we'll find it. But if we just, mill around a little bit, walk around, kick a few rocks, and, and we just stand there and, oh, well, I don't see it, and we don't put in the effort, we're not going to be able to find it.
Mm-hmm.
Another example I can think of, I work for a door company. We put in man doors. Now, when we load up in the morning, we are supposed to look over the materials, check for any damage. And if we're putting in a door with glass in it, we need to check for cracks, scratches. Maybe the manufacturer scratched the inside of it. We've had that happen. If we don't put any effort in the morning to looking at that material, making sure it's proper according to the notes, and we get out to the job and realize, oh, this door isn't the right size, it's the wrong swing. Well, we suffer for that, and the company suffers for that, because now we have to go either back to the shop for, some more material, or if we didn't look at it right, we're going to have to buy more stuff because we could have fixed it there, but we missed it because we didn't put any effort into it. Seek and you will find. That requires effort.
Mm-hmm.
Seeking is not passive. You don't just sit here and think in your mind, okay, I'm looking for it in my mind. No, you have to actually put some effort into seeking.
It is interesting that this equation works both in the physical and in the spiritual. And I think that it's maybe God oriented that way, because then we can test it out in the physical and see it on a day-to-day basis, so that we can also know that, hey, if we do the same thing with God, we do the same thing with our faith, we do the same thing spiritually, hey, God's going to work the same way. And so the laws here that hold this equation together physically, yeah, we can see the same results spiritually. It was kind of interesting here just the other day in our school here. A nice young girl had her workbook open and said, I just don't find the answer. And before I even read the equation, before I read everything, I looked and I said, is this what you're looking for? Now, I knew what I was looking for, and obviously she's trying to figure out what is she looking for. So it looked hidden and everything, but it's there. And a lot of times what we're trying to find, hey, if we're wanting our faith to grow, if we're wanting to understand a passage better, if we're wanting to know how to grow our family or bring the lost to Christ, or we're wanting that spiritual side of something, well, just like in the physical, just like any other way, we've got to put forth that effort. We've got to look, we've got to seek. And then of course when I showed her that one, well, then she was able to answer the next several questions. Like, oh, it's right there.
Yeah.
Well, seek and you will find. And I'm grateful that God has given us everything that we need to know right here, everything that pertains to life and godliness, so we can seek it and we can definitely know how to live for Him.
Definitely.
Seek and you shall find. You know, it reminds me over there in Luke 15, we've got the lost and found chapter, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've got the lost sheep, the lost coin, and then the lost son. And you can kind of see how each one of them were looked for in a different manner, in a different method. And so as you're looking for things in your life, whether you're looking for knowledge, you're looking for wisdom, you're looking for truth, looking for God, looking for relationships, looking for whatever it is, you may have to approach it slightly different and address it differently. But what is really neat is in all three, it shows just because the situation was different doesn't mean that means it's unfindable. We
Right.
can see in each one the difference in the intensity and the sincerity and how they really dug deep looking for, or how sincere they were in seeking the lost. And so it's really interesting there in the lost and found chapter. One that I like to read there is Luke 15, verses 8, 9, and 10, where it's the parable of the lost coin there. And it says, "Or what woman, having 10 silver coins, if she loses one, does not light a lamp, sweep the whole house, and search carefully until she finds it? And when she has found it, she calls her friends and neighbors together, saying, 'Rejoice with me, for I have found the piece which I have lost.' Likewise, I say to you, there is more joy in the presence of the angels of God over one sinner who repents." It is interesting how intently and sincerely she looked for that coin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your sincerity is going to tell you how long you're going to look for something. Your intensity is going to show you how hard you're going to look for something. And this lady valued the coin to the point where she was willing to tear her house apart, turn on every light and light every candle she had, get the best broom out, the dustpan, everything, and sweep the place intently and sincerely looking for this coin. Because what would that coin have meant to her?
Right.
Is that the last coin, or is that one of the coins that she had to be able to go buy some food? Was her livelihood at stake? It doesn't say.
Mm-hmm.
Was her, in a sense, her existence moving forward, as far as was that a part of her savings? Was that
That could have been all she had.
the coin that she was going to give to the Lord?
Right.
Was that part of her tithe or part of her offer? It doesn't say what that coin was going to be used for, but what we do see is the value she placed on that. And obviously, Jesus is kind of turning this back around and saying, "Hey, we have a value that we've placed on souls. God has placed a value on our soul, and He is doing everything He can. Are we seeking and trying to help save the lost there?" And so, how valuable an item is, that's going to dictate our intensity and our sincerity. Well, as we look at that, you're not going to passively just happen to have things come. I mean, maybe you might find things you didn't realize were lost. People find things they didn't realize they lost all the time.
Yeah.
But as far as truth, as far as salvation, as far as wisdom, like that, you're going to have to put in some effort for it, right?
Right. You're not gonna grow spiritually just by being passive. I mean, you can think of it like this way. Think of it in sense of your physical health and how you look physically. You are not going to gain a six pack and big muscles and heart health by sitting on the couch doing nothing and eating 10 bags of potato chips every day. If you just eat and you don't move, you're going to grow flabby and you're going to grow sick. Maybe, some people don't read their Bibles every day. They don't pray every day. They don't seek for the truth. They don't seek for God. And at that point, after long enough, you're going to become spiritually flabby. And it's going to take a whole lot more work to get spiritually fit than if right at the start you had started with that mindset of, I'm going to be in the Bible every day. I'm going to be putting the Word of God into action in my life. I'm not just going to memorize it and say, hey, look at me. I memorized it. I'm actually going to put it into action. That's like buying a treadmill and never using it. You can say, hey, I have a treadmill, but if you don't use it, it's worthless. So, I mean, in seeking, we see the lost coin, the lost sheep. They didn't expect that those items were just going to magically appear.
Mm-hmm.
That one day, the woman was going to be walking around her house, and all of a sudden, hey, there's that coin. Or the shepherd with his lost sheep, he didn't wait for the sheep to just roam around and eventually find its way back. No, they both intentionally sought it out and they were successful. Same way if in our spiritual lives, if we intentionally work out spiritually and we intentionally, do that stuff, then we're going to become stronger spiritually.
Mm-hmm. So do you value growth? Do you value truth enough to seek it intently and sincerely? And if you do, you'll find it.
That's right.
Absolutely.
All right, moving on to the last point here. Then have a question. What are you seeking? A couple verses I'd like to read here. Psalm chapter 119, verses 1 and 2 says, "How blessed are those whose way is blameless, who walk in the law of the Lord. How blessed are those who observe his testimonies, who seek him with all their heart."
So seek him with their whole heart. That kind of again shows their sincerity and their intensity. Have you ever seen somebody who is going to start being an athlete? Like their whole life changes as far as their schedule changes, their diet changes, their habits change, what they're thinking about changes. They don't even have to be performing the activity, but whether they're at work or school or whatever, they're thinking about when's the next time I can get out and do whatever. Same thing with musicians. They can be doing something totally different and they've got music running in their mind about another song that they want to work on, or music that they're trying to improvise or change, or hey, what can I do with this chord progression, or what can I do here at this section on this measure, and that may be running through their mind even when they don't have their instrument in their hand.
Right.
I think that kind of brings up some interesting connections here when we talk about seeking God with all our heart. When we're talking about seeking God with all our heart, it's not just something we like look at and say, okay, we sought God. We sought the truth. We checked the box. We went to the church meeting. We checked the box and sought God. No, when we seek God with all our heart, just like, hey, changing some habits, start thinking about him in every different direction, start thinking about him at different times during the day. Hey, how is this going to change my life? If I really put him first, what is that going to imply? What is that going to do? And notice the outcome. Again, we started with, hey, if we do this action, this is the outcome we're going to get. If we seek God, what's the outcome?
Right.
We're going to have a blessed life, right?
Yeah.
Blessed are the undefiled. Blessed are those who walk in the law of the Lord. Blessed are those who keep his testimony when they seek him with a whole heart. And it's really neat there. He shows us again like this action. If we do this, hey, we're going to get this result. We want a blessed life. We want a truly changed life, a good life in the Lord. We got to seek him with all our heart.
That's right.
So when we're thinking about that, is there a difference then between seeking a symptom suppressor versus seeking a solution?
Yeah.
And so here he doesn't just say seek happiness and you'll be blessed, or seek happiness and you'll find it. What happens to those who seek happiness? They ever
never
find it?
enough.
Yeah.
It's never enough.
But
for
I
'em.
thought it was in the founding documents, right? Everybody's promised happiness, life, liberty, and happiness, right?
Right.
No.
The pursuit of
Yeah, the ability, the opportunity, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't say, nobody's promised happiness.
Right. You don't have a right to be.
Yeah. So same with here. Hey, it's not just, hey, you're going to be happy if you seek for happiness. No, if you truly want to be content, if you truly want to have peace in your life, if you want to truly be happy, happiness beyond circumstance, seek the Lord.
Right.
So don't just seek a symptom suppressor, seek a solution. And that's, let's seek the Lord. And then everything in our life, when we seek him with all our heart, yeah, it truly can change.
Yeah. If you want something that'll last, you need to seek things that are, I think, eternal, because the pleasures of this world are temporary. If you want money and you get a lot of money, well, the stock market could crash and your money could become worthless. If you're seeking just for a job, well, maybe that you get that job and then the company closes and you're out of a job. I think there's a good verse that kind of really sums up today's discussion. I think it sums it up really well. Back in, let's see here, let me find it.
What verse are we thinking? What verse are we thinking? What book are we thinking?
Colossians
Here we
chapter
go.
3, verses 1 and 2, I think really sum it up. Perfect. It says, therefore, if you have been raised up with Christ, keep seeking the things above where Christ is, seated at the right hand of God. Set your mind on things above, not on the things that are on earth. So if you want real happiness, seek the things above.
Yeah.
That's what's going to last. Don't seek things on this earth, because those are very temporary pleasures. And after a certain amount of time, you're not going to be happy with it because it's going to be gone. But God will never leave.
Seek him and seek him with all our heart.
That's right.
Well, thank you again for joining us today as we looked at seeking. And we were breaking down seeking a little bit as far as, hey, we're going to look for something. We're going to search for something intently and sincerely. So seek and you will find. Just like the verse says, God makes a promise there. If we look for him, we will find him. That's a promise from God there. So I guess that kind of prompts a question for us and something for you to kind of think about this week. And then next week, we're going to look at what are we seeking, but what are you seeking? We touched on it just a minute. Are we looking for just something to suppress some symptoms that are going on in our life? Or are you trying to find a solution? So what are you seeking? We'll look at next week, seeking the truth. And we're going to break that part down, the truth. But if you're seeking for whatever you're looking for there, how's your search going?
It's a good question.
Many people say, yeah, I need to start looking. I need to start working on this. This is where I need to start going. Or many people understand that if I search, I will find, understand that equation. But let's be honest, how's the search going? Is it good? Is it not? And what can we do to help encourage one another to find what we're actually looking for, to help find the Lord, help find the truth, and help grow in him? Well, are you looking for a way to help grow your faith? Join us this revival, February 22nd through the 27th, as Brother Elijah Bueller from Indiana is going to be coming out and encouraging each one of us into help seeking the truth. How do we know what truth is? How do we know what to look for? And then also, how's your search going? Is it as intent or sincere as it should be? And if it is your faith growing? Is your family growing? And are you helping bring the lost to Christ? Join us this revival, February 22nd through the 27th, as Brother Elijah Bueller encourages us in seeking the truth. You can find it here live or join us online at thechurchatreno.com.
Hey, glad to see you here. I have a question for you. Do you feel like you have no purpose in your life? That you need to be part of something great? Or something that you just need to do in your life? Well, we invite you to come in and be part of something wonderful and be part of something great. See, we need you to do something for our videos, and you, the audience, can help us. There's 3 things we need you to do. The first thing we need you to do is this. We need you to like our videos. See, when you like our videos, the YouTube algorithm puts our videos in more places for people to see, and our message can be spread further. The second thing we need you to do is this. We need you to share our videos. Share them on social media, share them to your friends, share them to your family to make sure the word gets spread even farther. And finally, we need you to do this third thing. We need you to subscribe. That way you don't miss out on future content. If you do those 3 things, you can be part of something great. And if you do all of that, we will see you in the next video.